All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the December Polkadot community call. Joining us today, we have Alessandro from Acurast. He's sharing details on their Builders program and in an Oracle ecosystem initiative. Mr. Zachary Edwards, aka Young Beef from Subsocial. He'll bring us news on grill chat support for Polkadot wallets, sub-token transfers, and an upcoming fanfare app. We have Domsky from KodaDot to talk about NFT drops. And they actually just had one about an hour ago. It looks like all of them already minted out. It was over 1,000 in just under 30 minutes or so. And he'll also talk about the success of recent generative art campaigns, including the Swirls collection. We have Gautam from Polkadex to discuss IBTC and PHA, or Fala Network listings, as well as Polkadex's integration with the Hummingbot API. We have Brana from OriginTrail to chat about knowledge mining and NeuroWeb. And last but not least, we'll have Otar to share OpenGov updates. So again, before I hand it off, just remember to retweet, smash the heart button. Let's get this space some more listeners in here. All right, with that, I'll hand it over to Alessandro.
Yes, so let me just quickly say a few words about Acurast before we get into the Builders program to just give an overview of what it is that we're actually doing. In a nutshell, Acurast is a decentralized cloud platform. We allow developers to run workloads similar to an AWS Lambda or Google function, but in a fully trustless and decentralized way. These workloads we call zero trust applications. And one of the use cases for those zero trust applications that work very, very well, given the confidential computing core that it is utilizing, is, of course, the Oracle use case, which brings me directly into the referenda that we currently have open on OpenGov. It's a medium spender referenda. It's, I believe, number 312. And the goal there is to provide to the whole Polkadot ecosystem, regardless of whether you're building your application with an EVM stack or just natively with Substrate or Ink WASM smart contract, that we make available these price feeds and so on and so forth. There's more detail about the actual proposal, of course, on OpenGov, and it would be amazing if we can get your support. It's looking good. We already received quite some support, but of course, it's undecided at the moment. Still, thank you in case you're supporting us. Then, yes, please. Okay, then the other thing, of course, update on the Builders program. These zero trust applications, you can start already today building them. And you can head over to console.acurast.com, and we just opened a Builders program that is quite attractive for people to join. If you have a project that could use some sort of verifiable compute, some sort of automation which is on-chain, some sort of cross-chain communication, well, then I believe that this could be interesting for you, because Acurast is offering this layer, this abstraction layer to developers that is called universal interoperability. And what it basically allows you to do is to either observe state changes or data changes from one source, and this source can be another blockchain or a Web2 application, REST API, but then also bring this to another chain, which, of course, there's plenty of use cases for that. So if you have a project, please join this Builders program. I think it's definitely worth it. You find more details as well on our website. And maybe last update from our side, we released, and this is more for the other side, for the people that are actually providing this infrastructure, a new processor version. So in case you have not updated yet, it's a good moment to do so. And yes, the incentive program for the processor is also still ongoing. So if that's something that interests you as a validator, maybe that could also be something that you can look up there. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Great. Thanks very much, Alessandro. Super exciting stuff. Be sure to head over to Acurast's Twitter or X account to read more details about it. You were just on AAG earlier, or last week, was it, to talk about your referenda? Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And I believe it also had quite a positive effect. I think what in general people like is that the full stack, like of our orchestrator, is actually built with Polkadot SDK. We are as well leveraging the parachain slot on Kusama for our incentivized testnet. And I believe what people like about the proposal is that it's kind of a eat your own dog food thing, because it's for the community by a project that lives in the ecosystem. And yeah, and also the feedback was great in general. We managed to learn a lot on that AAG.
Nice. And I think, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but the cool thing about Acurast is that the processors are actually handled on Android phones, or they can be handled on Android phones.
Absolutely. So, right. The thing is, if we take a look at the general landscape of cloud computing, you have a couple of tech giants that are monopolizing the space. And if you truly want to go after them, then with a decentralized system, you need to play by other rules, so to speak. So what I think is quite unique about Acurast is that we are leveraging mobile devices as the processing unit, and it turns out that mobile devices are more resilient, more performant per watt consumption, as well as more secure, and they are kind of the platform of decentralization. And that's why I believe that as well, if you take a look at various metrics, it's by a huge factor better than what current players can offer. And I think it's the only way that you can then come up with something that is actually better. Because if you say, okay, well, let's build a decentralized cloud, but in the end, like 80% of your nodes are running inside a AWS or Google hosted machine, I think that it's kind of missing the point, and it's not going to be sustainable in terms of you will never be able to then really challenge those players if you're building on them.
Got it. Very insightful, and thank you for explaining that. We'll move on now to Young Beef from Subsocial. He's going to talk about grill chat support for some ecosystem wallets. I guess the question on everyone's mind is, when Nova Wallet? I think you only have at the moment browser extensions. Young Beef, you want to jump up?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly with that, but I do believe it is in the works. Can't remember if the problem was on our side or their side, but we are working on getting that supported as well. Of course, a big shout out to Nova. But hey, everybody, thanks for coming. I'll do my best to keep it short, so let's get right into it. A few weeks back, we added support for Polkadot wallets on Grill Chat, as Evan said. So originally, we had the ability for EVM users to log in with MetaMask and other EVM wallets by linking their accounts, and that enabled the use of ENS usernames, donations with ERC20 tokens, etc. But now anyone in the Polkadot ecosystem can log in with their wallet as well. That gives you access to a number of different identity options that you can display from around the ecosystem, such as Subsocial usernames, Polkadot or Kusama on-chain identities, Web3 names from Kilt, and the donation feature on Grill has also been expanded to support a lot of the Polkadot ecosystem tokens that are transferable. So that's just the beginning of the use cases for this feature. We'll be building that out some more in the future. 2 weeks ago, we teased our upcoming super app named Fanfare, which we expect will be out in Q1 of next year. Fanfare will combine all of the best parts of what we've built so far into one awesome application, ready to support creators and communities in Web3. On Fanfare, creators' profiles will have a button to stake to them, as well as their content feed and a section for chats on one or more topics if they want. So we're basically taking creator staking, Polkaverse, Grill Chat, putting this all together into one awesome application. So this will be a great place for users to show up with one of their various Polkadot identity options and start building relationships in these communities, networking, contributing, and helping the best creators. We're also going to have a point system on Fanfare, which will be sort of a gamification thing where people can earn more rewards, contribute to their favorite creators and communities, and this will help with engagement and virality. We'll have some more out about that soon as well. A final tidbit about Fanfare is we're working with a marketing agency to onboard a lot of creators for the launch from a variety of backgrounds, both in and out of crypto, to bring some diversity and frankly some competition to the creator staking system. We're still working on the next evolution of creator staking, which we call active staking, to solve some problems with the system. We'll have more updates about that out soon as well. And last but certainly not least, as you may have heard, transfers for the sub token were enabled last Wednesday. And since then, sub has become available on the Hydra DX parachain and Stella Swap, which is on the Moonbeam parachain. So if you're still looking to register a Subsocial username, get started with creator staking, start creating content on Polkaverse, now you can. It's a great time to do that. So that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on chain.
Thank you, Young Beef. And everyone should head over to grill.chat. Open up your browser, go to grill.chat. You can now log in, as Young Beef just mentioned, with a Polkadot browser extension wallet. It takes under 10 seconds. I mean, it's faster than signing in with an email address or any traditional way in Web2. So awesome work, great product. Encourage everyone to go check it out. Forget Telegram, forget Signal, go to Grill Chat. All right, next we have Domsky from KodaDot. You guys had some pretty big drops recently, like the Swirls collection. You had one earlier today, the Motherboard collection, minted out like what, in 20, 30 minutes? Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Right. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having us or having me. So yeah, like regarding the drops, I'll get to it in a second. So in case anybody in the chat wouldn't know us, so we are a KodaDot open source NFT marketplace that's operating on the Polkadot network and also on the Kusama networks, primarily now working with the Asset Hub. So we are fully open sourced and have distributed over 500K in bounties to developers who are coming to work with Polkadot and Substrate. So if anybody wants to make some money and show their developer skills and actually work with Polkadot, then feel free to head out to KodaDot and check our GitHub repository. And that was the drops which we actually have right now were done with the help of the developers that are coming to actually deliver the issues with that and so on. So regarding drops, drops are basically NFT collections that are usually free for now at least, and they are algorithmically created. So anybody who is a little bit technical can probably play around in P5.js, where those generative NFTs are usually done, and can just launch a drop, right? If they do nice art. Those who are not technical then can always collect it, and then afterwards maybe list it for sale, and then see how it is, or just wait for the floor to rise up, right? So what is nice with the NFTs is that it's a nice onboarding way to actually bring people to the ecosystem, because NFTs are usually very easy to understand. And since we have Asset Hub, which is a system parachain that is actually made for trading and management of fungible and non-fungible tokens, then people are actually using the correct platform right away when they are coming to Polkadot, right? Because it's Polkadot native, everything is on-chain visible how we can do it. And the best thing is, since basically Polkadot or Substrate has XCM, which is a cross-chain messaging format, then if a user, for example, doesn't have a balance on the Polkadot Asset Hub, we automatically scan whether they have balance or not. And if they don't, then a user basically signs one more transaction and through XCM teleports, aka bridges, their funds, the minimum funds they need, for example, to list the NFT. Plus, of course, he has to have existential deposit. So we try to reduce the friction as much as possible, even though, for example, user doesn't have a Polkadot wallet, we still let them basically at least come to the drop and see it and have a nudge to create a Polkadot wallet and mint. So yeah, this is basically around drops. Some of the latest drops we actually drop every Thursday at 3 p.m. usually at Central European time, and usually mint around 1K NFTs in like 30 minutes. Depends on basically the rarity of the collection. Some of them are more rare, some of them are not as rare, so there is more pieces. But once it mints out, there are no more. So it's just a nice collection to have in your profile. So yeah, these are drops and KodaDot.
Nice. And as you mentioned, the auto teleport is very frictionless. Last week, I got my hands on one of the swirls, from the generative artwork. I listed it, used the XCM teleport, was listed in, really quick, and actually someone came along and bought it. So nice work, and looking forward to the next drop. Do you have a date in mind of when the next one will come?
Yeah, we are actually planning one more tomorrow, which is gonna be like a little bit rare and maybe for the listeners here. It's gonna be less NFTs, more like higher rarity. So feel free to check out our platform tomorrow around 3 o'clock, and of course follow our Twitter and Polkadot Twitter for the latest updates around those drops. So usually drops on Thursday, but we will do an exclusive drop tomorrow on Friday. So prepare your wallets.
Nice. Everyone should go to KodaDot's Twitter right now, give them a follow, be on time for that drop tomorrow. As Domsky said, over 1,000 NFTs, all claimed within under 30 minutes today. Tomorrow there's going to be fewer. They're going to be rare. So make sure you follow KodaDot. Thanks, Domsky. Next we have Gautam from Polkadex. Tell us about Polkadex's recent integration with Hummingbot.
Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a good day today because we had Polkadex the last whole month. The number was pretty exciting, and so, for the benefit of the time, I'm gonna just talk about the few highlights that we had. So I will start with the Hummingbot integration. So that is, Hummingbot is one of the open source protocols out there for trading bot in creating new trading bots and also featuring their own open strategies for creating trading bots. And this has been there's a very big community for Hummingbot, and we as a decentralized trustless order book completed the integration of Hummingbot, and we have been using Hummingbot and the corresponding market makers along with the Hummingbot integration for the initial market making. And this basically means that we have now high frequency trading access for the DeFi in Polkadot, and all the Polkadot users can now start deploying trading bots and start placing orders, limit orders and market orders. So that's possible right now in a completely trustless, non-custodial manner. And along with that, it's been like 2 months since we launched as in a beta project, and we have got around more than 1,000 users so far, with literally zero marketing budget. And what we are seeing is that there is an organic interest, and especially the most of the trading volume is on the Polkadot and the Polkadex trading pair. And the second update is, like in the last month, we listed IBTC from the interlay parachain, thanks to the the Polkadot parachain and the XCM model. Now we have like trustless Bitcoin on a trustless order book. So that's a big win for the decentralized community.
All right, we're losing you still a bit, Gautam. While you get your internet sorted, let's head over to Brana from OriginTrail to chat about knowledge mining. And Gautam, when you're ready to come back, just raise your hand and we'll get back to you. Or are you ready now? Let's see if it's working now.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's funny when you think about it. We make all of this complex, decentralized technology, and then like a simple audio call keeps going down all the time. Yeah, hopefully Gautam gets back. Awesome. So, hey everyone, I'm Brian. I'm one of the founders and CTO of Trace Labs. So, we're the core developers of OriginTrail. If you don't know much about OriginTrail, it's a very unique project. I'll just give a 2-sentence intro. So, it is centered around a decentralized knowledge graph. This is a new thing. It's not a blockchain. Well, it's not that new, actually. We launched the project quite a while ago, but it's still the unique project within the Web3 ecosystem. So it's a multi-chain decentralized knowledge graph, and it's actually designed for creating very interesting knowledge applications. Its core component is called the knowledge asset. And the knowledge asset is basically a new type of a Web3 asset. You can think of it kind of as a knowledge NFT. If you look from Web3 perspective, or if you look from, let's say, a classic knowledge graph or data science, AI perspective, you can consider it as kind of an ownable container of knowledge. And what are these knowledge assets? So they're basically ownable, discoverable, and verifiable pieces of knowledge. And with OriginTrail decentralized knowledge graph, you can create them currently also with a specific blockchain on Polkadot called OriginTrail Parachain. You've probably heard of it. So a couple of new things that are happening with us as I speak. We're about to publish a new interesting RFC within our community. Is the 20th RFC, and it talks about knowledge mining. So this new concept of knowledge mining basically allows anybody to create useful knowledge in the decentralized knowledge graph. And just as for example, Bitcoin mining, you get incentives in Bitcoin coins, right, for providing hash rate to the network. In this case, knowledge mining is analogous to that. By providing knowledge to the network, you actually get tokens as a reward. These tokens are actually the native tokens of the OriginTrail parachain, which is also, by the way, going to receive kind of an involved new framework, and it's going to be transitioned to a new paradigm, a new name, including the token, and the token becomes the Neuro token, and the actual web of these knowledge assets gets supported by the parachain that's going to be called NeuroWeb. And that is also in the domain of the OriginTrail community. So the OriginTrail community, or anybody who's currently doing anything with the OriginTrail parachain, is going to be able to vote on the parachain governance module. Basically, a referendum is going to kick off in roughly 2 weeks to confirm this change. This is going to be very exciting, especially for those of you who are looking to build in the space of decentralized AI, because with knowledge assets, you can build these trusted AI applications. And that especially means in, for example, question answering systems, chatbots, search engines, discovery engines, recommendation engines. If you're looking for something like that, either as a builder or generally you want to contribute your knowledge into it, you're actually able to source all of the knowledge from these verifiably created knowledge assets. So that means, for example, if you chat with ChatGPT now today, it answers directly from the model, right? So that's because of that, it has this notion of hallucination, right? It's a really good word guesser. Well, if you build a similar system like a chatbot on OriginTrail, you can actually have your system only source the knowledge from these verifiable knowledge assets. So I encourage everybody to actually go check it out. There's a website called world.origintrail.io, and on there you can actually interact with a set of knowledge assets about the OriginTrail ecosystem, as well as on Twitter. You can find actually a Twitter bot, an experimental bot called ChatDKG, with whom you can actually ask questions through tweets, and the results, the answers you get are going to come from the OriginTrail parachain and OriginTrail decentralized knowledge graph. So with verifiable sources, and basically you will see something that's not generated, but rather extracted from the knowledge graph. Knowledge graphs are actually very interesting. If you or any of the listeners are into generally AI technologies, knowledge graphs are this older branch, let's say, of AI, which is this symbolic branch, while this new branch is neural AI, which is essentially this LLM branch that we're looking to expand right now. So at the combination of these two, there's a lot of interesting stuff. It's basically the cutting, really bleeding edge of research right now in the space of AI, and I encourage that to go into it. And when you go to chat with the Twitter bot ChatDKG, you can also ask a question about Polkadot. So go ahead and try it. I'm interested to see what you guys get. Having that said, knowledge mining will, in its first iteration, which is intended to start in the beginning of next year, be done through a beta program. And this is a beta program that you can participate in. You can create valuable knowledge assets either for your community, your project, whatever you feel that is interesting for you, and you can actually mine neuro tokens. So we'll get rewarded in tokens back, and this knowledge will be, these knowledge assets will be the base for this bot that you're seeing. So in the future, when you mine those knowledge assets, you'll be able to ask questions that the answers get sourced from these. So I encourage everybody to go try it out, ask a question about Polkadot, maybe about another project, and don't get surprised if you don't find some answer. It's not, it doesn't know everything. That's why we're starting this knowledge mining campaign, because we want to crowdsource knowledge as the entire community, and we want to grow the largest decentralized knowledge graph in the world. So basically making kind of a completely contrasting statement from these closed models owned by specific companies that we don't exactly know what they're doing with and how they've been trained, likely been trained by actually misappropriating a lot of information online. And that's the key problem actually we're trying to solve here, the problem of misinformation. Because over the course of time, what's going to happen very soon is going to be a very weird situation. We're going to have more content online generated by AI than by humans relatively soon. We can probably measure it by months or years at best. And at that moment in time, with all of the already existing misinformation that this AI has been trained on, propaganda, fake news, and whatever you want to call it, and with hallucination, like there's just going to be much more junk online. So the way to solve this is to actually take care of the knowledge by owning it. You as a part of the Polkadot community, or soon other communities as well, not just the OriginTrail parachain community, but everybody within Polkadot and wider is going to be able to mint these knowledge assets, get rewarded. Once minting them, we are also incentivized to connect them. This phase is called enrichment. And finally, we can train AI models. We can utilize these knowledge both on-chain and off-chain, and we can bring about basically a system where the knowledge is owned collectively, crowdsourced together, rather than just a few individuals who get the power to train these large models. So as I'm speaking, this RFC with the details on the OriginTrail knowledge mining, or OT RFC 20, is going to be posted. It's actually posted on our GitHub right away, and it's coming out. The announcement is just being prepared as we speak. So take a look at it, and yeah, provide your feedback. We'd love to hear what you think, and we'd love to see who is all interested in joining this initiative. Finally, if you're a builder, there's also a grant program for you. So whoever is interested in building it, generally the domain of decentralized AI and Polkadot, there's a 1 million track token grant for builders who are building tools at this intersection of basically AI and blockchain. So go check it out. It's at the website chatdkg.ai. There's several projects already building great things, from SDKs to browser extensions for creating knowledge assets, to generally community useful tools, a Copilot plugin. There's a bunch of exciting stuff brewing. And this will, by the way, also be used for knowledge mining. So if you're looking to build with decentralized AI, we're looking forward to speaking with you, and go ahead and apply for the ChatDKG grant if you have a cool idea. So yeah, I guess I'll stop here and I'll let others speak as well. I see Gautam could be back.
Thanks, Brana. Wow, a lot to digest in there. You paint a pretty grim picture of, making that statement that in a few months from now there will be more content on the internet from AI than from humans. That's just what we need. Is just more AI content. So OriginTrail's mission to combating misinformation is more critical than ever. So a lot of great stuff happening. I know you guys are aiming for 100 billion knowledge assets in the Metcalfe phase that you just entered, which is just incredible.
Exactly.
And the chat GPT bot on Twitter, anyone can try that out right now. You just type / what do you type? You type /ask.
And then you add the bot. So
Right.
/ask ChatDKG, you add the bot, and then you can write a question. I'm going to post on my Twitter some interesting question now, so you can see it as well if you follow me.
Perfect. So everyone go follow Brana, and then be sure to check out world.origintrail.io, the website that you mentioned there. All right, Gautam, are you back? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Is it better?
Yeah, we hear you now. We heard most everything you said up until the last 10 or 15 seconds. So I think you had just a few more statements to share. Go ahead.
All right, perfect. Thank you. I'm sorry for the interruption earlier, everyone. I'm not sure what happened. I had full Wi-Fi strength here, but anyway. So I mean, continuing from the highlights, since we have the IBTC listed right now in Polkadex, so we have the trustless Bitcoin powered by Polkadot on a trustless order book, and the second highlight is the listing of Fala, the Fala token from the Fala parachain. And that has been the first democratic listing that we had, thanks to the governance palettes and the modules made by Parity and the Polkadot team. We created a market, which is automatically appeared on the front end after the proposal passed on chain. So this is basically the first step towards democratic way of listing, where the token holders decide which markets to open and which markets to close, and what kind of tokens to be listed and all those kind of things. So so these are the main two highlights. And as I mentioned earlier,
we're gonna jump over to Nicholas from Ajuna, if you're here, Nicholas.
Hey, thank you for having me. Short update from our side. Wanted to just let everybody know that after quite a few months of trying to get this done between Unity and Parity Technology, we now have signed the contract to further develop the Polkadot Unity SDK. I think that's something that we're really happy about. This is sort of an ecosystem-wide solution in order to be able to have a target for next year to onboard as many game developers, and not only because sort of Unity is used in a variety of different applications, for example, such as architecture. So this is a result of a proposal that was put to the Treasury. So if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the first verified solutions that has been done, let's say, completely by the community, driven completely by the community. Part one was there in order to make sure that we can have both contractual and the technical part in place. Part two of that proposal will be submitted in the upcoming days also to the Treasury, which, as we have had the discussion up for a few weeks, what we're trying to do with that part is essentially professionalize an effort around this SDK. So that means making sure that we have the right sort of business development, marketing and tooling activities in order to promote this. In terms of a roadmap, we should expect that in the next, I would say 6 to 8 weeks is the time to verification. And by the time that sort of process ends, then we will have sort of a full visibility in the decentralized Unity asset store alongside other solutions like that. That should give a visibility to Polkadot and parachain projects within that Unity asset store, visibility to close to over 1 million game developers which visit the asset store on a monthly basis. I think the way that we see this is this is an effort that started close to 6 months ago. This sort of idea of creating I would say, gaming collective, a gaming vertical, where different parachains and and entities within this ecosystem. We try sort of to group together for a common cause. Although we've seen quite a few sort of changes towards this direction over the past few months, we are sort of quite happy to continue down this path. And hopefully we will also in the next year see how we can expand these efforts into something bigger. And we're really happy also to see that there's efforts from other verticals going on, for example, from the NFT side. And so we're also going to be participating in the activities there and see not only how with this SDK, but with other ways we can sort of support these ecosystem type of collective efforts. So yeah, I think that's it from our side. We will keep you updated next month when sort of everything is done and on the way. And as I said, in a couple of months' time, we will have a Polkadot branded Unity SDK, which we can offer to the community of developers and builders in our ecosystem. So yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks, Nicholas. And looks like we have Otar up next to discuss OpenGov referenda. Otar, are you here?
As usual, I'm here to provide an overview of the most interesting government and treasury proposals for both Kusama and Polkadot. Starting with the Kusama for both governments and treasury, and then moving to Polkadot network. So on Kusama, there are a few notable government proposals the past months I would love to mention. And I would like to start with the referendum 294, setting backing validator group size to 3. The core issue at the end revolved around the process when a parachain generates a block. In the previous setup, it required the verification and the signature of 2 out of 5 backing validators to advance. The new proposed 2 out of 3 configuration seeks to ensure that the backing quorum represents a supermajority within the group, eliminating the possibility of 2 competing backed candidates. But why the adjustment, right? The reason is that smaller backing groups are anticipated to distribute the load of approval checking more evenly, contributing to a balanced network. While there's a slight risk associated with this change, where slow or unresponsive validators might lead to more skipped parachain slots with a 2 out of 3 configuration. In practice, the risk is mitigated by the rotation of validator groups every minute. The proposal has been whitelisted by the Technical Fellowship and eventually approved to enact by the community. The next one is the referendum 305. In light of the recent upgrade of the Kusama relay chain, an XCM issue has surfaced, leading to failed transactions. This problem arose because the Kusama relay chain appends a set topic instruction to every XCM program. However, the XCM version 2, which was until recently the default for many destinations, did not support this instruction. Consequently, when the Kusama relay chain sends an XCM message to a destination, it believes is using the version 2, even if it's not the destination, if the destination hasn't actually upgraded to version 3. The set topic instructions triggers this error, leading to failed transactions. The mismatch in versions could lead to issues between the relay chain and parachains as a result. To resolve this, we propose setting a relay chain safe XCM version to version 3. This adjustment ensures that the relay chain would send XCM in the version 3 format by the default. Moreover, defaulting the version 3 on the relay chain was not just a temporary fix, but it was a strategic move for a long-term solution. Lastly, before we move to the treasury side of the things, I want to mention referenda 320, proposing the Kusama auctions schedule for 2024 on auction admin track. Anticipating the future, this proposal lays out a well-defined auction schedule for lease periods 36 and 37 in the upcoming year. Containing 7 auctions each, the plan takes into consideration the potential integration of the Agile core time. The referendum is still up for vote, so your input on shaping the auction schedule is crucial. Review the plan and make sure to cast your votes. The details and the call hash along with the schedule can be found in the referendum post shared here. Okay, on the treasury side, following the transition to OpenGov, referendum 306 tried to address an issue that has surfaced where the deposits associated with the treasury spend proposals from now dissolved governments 1.0 remained locked. To fix this, the referendum proposed a solution inspired by the successful forced batch call in the previous Polkadot referendum. The aim was clear: to slash Kusama government's 1.0 treasury proposal deposits and refund the corresponding amounts to their respective proposers. It's crucial to understand that this forced batch call was strategic in its approach, meaning that invalid submissions such as spam proposals identified by the community along with the older proposals rejected by the council were excluded from this call. The proposal has been successfully executed and the corresponding proposers received the deposits back as a result. The next and the last in the line for the Kusama Treasury Spotlight is Referendum 309, seeking to tip collators of the Kusama system parachains for 3 months operational expenses for October to December 2023. Collators on system parachains play a crucial role in the network's functionality, yet they currently receive minimal rewards for the block production and modest incentives in terms of transaction fees. The situation reduced the incentives for the collators to act favorably, potentially leading to under-resourcing of a host due to the cost considerations. To address this, the ecosystem has agreed through bounty number 20 to compensate system parachain collators. However, at the end of September of this year, bounty 20's funds were depleted. This spend requested a temporary solution to compensate Kusama system chain collators for operational costs in the Q2 of this year. Okay, now turning our attention to Polkadot. Let's focus on Referendum 132, a proposal shaping the financial strategy of Polkadot Technical Fellowship. The essence of this proposal lies in the strategic accumulation of USDT for the fellowship salary. The approach involves placing a dollar cost averaging order to swap DOT for USDT using the HydraDX Omnipool. This method not only leverages the ecosystem tech, but also aims to establish a daily conversion, ensuring a consistent source of USDT for fellowship salaries for their ongoing work. As the schedule is planned by multiple XCM calls, the execution of this proposal was only possible by the root track. As a result of this successful execution, USDT has been received in the fellowship salary account on Asset Hub, gradually forming a salary pool. With this, we can further highlight the innovative application of Polkadot's core technologies such as XCM and parachain dApps. For those interested in exact executions and details, please make sure to review the proposal. Next, we move to recently approved Referendum 268, upgrading Polkadot runtime to version 1.1. For those who can recall, with the previous effort to upgrade Polkadot to version 1, among other things, there was an attempt to change log time in the Polkadot runtime from 7 days back to 28 days. However, due to the potential downsides outweighing the benefits, it has been proposed to revert this change. The primary concern is the retroactive increase in log time, impacting expectations of the delegates and ongoing referenda participants. This could lead to users having their tokens locked for extended periods beyond what they initially expected at the time of voting or delegation. In light of these downsides, the potential issues identified on Kusama, including the XCM version 3 issue mentioned previously, it was preferred to cancel the previous runtime upgrade represented by the Referendum 241 and propose a new runtime upgrade by the fellowship that kept governance lock periods to 7 days in Polkadot until a more comprehensive solution is proposed. As a result, Referendum 286 has been successfully approved and enacted approximately 6 days ago. For the active referenda, it's worth noting that similar to Kusama, Referendum 335 is proposing 7 auctions each for the next year lease periods 16 and 17. Similarly, in the event that Agile core time is successfully integrated before the planned auction dates, the proposal suggests the option to cancel the remaining auctions. Further details about the auction configuration for 2024 along with the call hash can be found in the referendum post. So please make sure to review the schedule and vote at your convenience. Now let's discuss treasury proposals, starting with the referenda 234, aimed to cover the cost of Polkadot participation led by the Web3 Foundation as a Block 3 sponsor at the CoinDesk consensus, which was held for April 26 to 28 in Austin, Texas. It included 15 participating ecosystem teams, and the event itself was attended by over 20,000 participants from around the world, including entrepreneurs, executives, Web3 creators, NFT collators, brand and marketing professionals, government officials, and blockchain developers. By participating as a sponsor, Polkadot showcased its ecosystem, healthy growth of its community, and the quality of its technology. As a flagship event in the industry, the event offered an excellent opportunity for connecting with the new builder teams, convert those considering Polkadot, and support the growth of ecosystem projects while amplifying their adoption efforts. Further information on the proposal, including milestones, budget, agenda, participants, and more, can be found in the post. As the proposal has been approved, I would like to congratulate everyone involved in this event. Next, diving into recently approved referendum 236, which is centered around Events Bounty and their updated curator candidacy approval. Since its inception in August 2020, the Events Bounty has recognized over 100 contributors to the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. However, community feedback suggested room for optimization in the bounty's review process. In response, referendum has been presented proposing an expansion of the events bounty curator set and introducing enhancements based on the initial 22 proposal. Key improvements include increasing the multisig from 3 to 5 curators for better global representation, implementing a new multisig setup with a proxy for improved management, and welcoming 3 new curators alongside the existing 2. This expansion ensures a more diverse and efficient evaluation process. Additionally, 17 new community members to join as sub-curators, fostering broader community representation. The proposal also introduced a new type of the event sponsorship, and emphasizes structured communication channels for enhanced transparency. For more information about the curator team, please make sure to check the complete curator candidacy proposal. Last but not least, on the Treasury list is the Referenda 302 for Nova Wallet's fifth proposal to cover further development of Nova Wallet as a mobile application for the Polkadot ecosystem, allowing the team to expand upon already large set of features containing within the Nova Wallet by adding cloud backups, push notifications, proxy wallets, improvements to OpenGov, and new hardware wallets, networking management, and deep links. The goal is to build and maintain a high-quality, open-source, community-focused, and feature-rich mobile application which has no network biases and can function with no restrictions. For more information about the proposal, along with the list of deliverables and budget, please make sure to review the ongoing referendum and cast your votes. Yes, that's all from me on governments, but before I finish, please note that all relevant links are provided here for additional context, and also it's worth noting that apart from the referenda I've highlighted today, Polkadot currently hosts 65 active referenda, while Kusama has 9 proposals currently up for vote. So please make sure to review, cast your votes, or delegate them. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Otar. We appreciate your time as always and your attentiveness to what's happening in OpenGov. We encourage all DOT holders to go and participate in governance, make sure your voice is heard. And as Otar mentioned, you can review all the proposals that he just referenced in our recent Twitter thread, in Polkadot's recent Twitter thread. Real quick before we wrap, we have Pablo from Polkadex. He's going to take us home. He's going to just share some the closing thoughts that Gautam was about to share. Pablo, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Evan. I'm sorry for all the technical issues, and yeah, thank you for giving us another chance. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. So I believe Gautam left off at the file listing news. So yeah, the file listing is the first of what we hope are many more democratic or governance-led listings on Polkadex, and these are voted on by PDEX token holders, and they're made possible by the democracy palette on Substrate. Okay, so then what we're hoping from this first listing is for more parachain tokens to we're hoping to get out a rubric and a guide for them for submitting listing proposals coming in the new year. So look out for that. Yeah, if any other parachain token projects are here and they want to trade on they want their token to be trading on a decentralized order book DEX. We also have a campaign on Airlift to spread the news about the file listing. So if anybody's interested, be sure to check that out. And yeah, I mean, overall, that brings us to 5 trading pairs with IBTC and FA that we already covered today, along with A-Star, DOT, and PDEX, which were listed in October. And these are all paired with USDT on Polkadex order book. So yeah, we're seeing promising metrics. Order book seems to be regularly doing at least 100K in total trading volume across these 5 pairs, with only a fraction of the TVL on AMM dexes. So that looks promising. And yeah, just to finish up, aside from some market making partnerships funded through the Polkadex Treasury, we also have liquidity mining program coming in 2024, with the front end integration for that happening as we speak. And yeah, last thing coming in 2024 is our connection to Ethereum via our decentralized interoperability layer, Theia. So yeah, that's it from us. A lot of updates.
Great, thanks, Pablo, and glad we got there in the end. We got all of Polkadex updates. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please be sure, everyone, to go and follow our panelists, follow their projects, go follow Acurast, Subsocial, KodaDot, OriginTrail, Polkadex, Ajuna, and follow OTAR while you're at it as well if you want to stay up to date with OpenGov updates. Thanks, everyone, very much for attending. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in January.